go, babies.
But really, the only ones that matter are me and Bobby at the top of the scoreboard. Bobby with 24,043 points. Rich McPhee with 25,000.
No, fuck that. No, that's
points.
been in your possession.
I'm just saying what it is. And I also have 104 suckets, and you only have 76. So suck it. But Casey had 50 suckets on there, which seems low. Welcome to the Simple Minds Sports Show. This is the latest and greatest on New England sports, or the legendary game Balls, which we can talk about all night if you'd like. We can run through all of the games, which would be
get the show rundown out of here. I just want to discuss. Can we just rework through how to play that? Yeah.
It wouldn't be a bad idea. Our technology and brains have evolved hypothetically,
exactly.
so
we
could
could
really
probably
get
refine this.
What do you say we take a break on that for a second and just go with some opening takes? Ray, we missed you last week. I hope everything's going well in your tummy. I assume it was a tummy problem.
Yep.
So why don't you kick us off with your opening take for today's show?
Thank you. Albert Breer has came out and said that Mac Jones is on the hot seat. He could be going to the Vegas Raiders in a trade because McDaniels needs a quarterback now that Derek Carr's gone. I'm done with this. Let's just fucking stop. I hate Mac Jones. I'm one of the biggest haters out there. Let's just stop this. We have Billy O'Brien now. Let's just fucking roll with this, build around him. I'm sick of the hot seat take. Just let this man this is his third year coming up. This is the make or break year pretty much. So you get some talent around him and then see what he does. Then next year, if he fails, then I'm all for it. But just give him one more year with an actual offense coordinator, and then let's address the elephant in the room in 2024.
Snip snapping fuck. What, you spineless bitch. What a coward you! You're a little poking and prodding through through all football season with your bitch tit texts, and now come the off season, do you want the captain? You want the Mac Jones fan club captain? See, I can give it to you.
No, I'll be first mate. That's fine.
Yeah, you will be. Sit on this. All right, I'll go Celtics here. Last we talked, they were heading to the All-Star game, which no one really cared about until I woke up the next morning and found out that Jayson Tatum won the MVP with a record-setting 55 points. And I still didn't really care, but it's a big deal because it's a big deal to him. But it's not a big deal to Jaylen Brown, who had another terrific game. I think there's a little splintering going. I'm very conflicted on the Celtics right now. I think that everything that happened over All-Star Weekend is a good thing for the Celtics. It's going to propel them. I wish it didn't. And it might be different for Jaylen Brown, and he may be a flight risk because of it. There's a lot of confusing things going on in my brain right now, but I'd like to hash that out during our Celtics segment if I could. Let me just put it this way. Jayson Tatum, MVP. Jaylen Brown, flight risk. Both could be champions by July. With all that being said, Bobby, you're opening.
I've been dying for this all afternoon. Go ahead, Bobby. Come on, let's hear this.
Well, this show's already off the rails. We're talking like 20-year-old card games. We'll get into TV shows.
Yeah,
I have a guilty pleasure. Food Network competition cooking shows. I fucking love that shit. Okay. And the new March Madness is on. The Tournament of Champions just came out on Sunday. The whole new fucking bracket, Top Chefs. They're gonna fucking cook it. They give these guys, it's like, I'll tell you what, they're like, here's like a bagel, a fucking spiralizer, and raised nuts, and then they fucking give you a gourmet meal. Yeah, it is enthralling. I don't know how you people don't watch this. It is.
Well, I catch it from time to time with my wife's. It's
amazing.
Diners, drive-ins, and dives is my guilty pleasure.
Oh, all of them. Beat Bobby Flay, guys, grocery
Bobby
games.
Flay,
I love that shit.
Guys, grocery games as well. Yeah.
I can see Bobby in his old school boxers, like very light fabric boxers, in his
flannel,
in
of course,
his gray beater, checkered in his beater, holding his new baby with a coffee in his hand, watching the Food Network at 6 a.m, just like fucking intensely. God damn. God damn.
DVRing it. He's got to try that out.
Crying. I'm not even noticing. I'm watching him scramble a fucking egg.
Well, I did not see that coming.
That was a fucking curveball right there.
I thought it would entertain.
Yeah, no, that's a good segue into our newest segment, which is going to be the top 5 with some cool graphic and music that are rip off YouTube. So today's top 5 will be the top 5 best TV shows on TV right now. I just had this epiphany on Sunday because I was trying to catch up on all the TV that I'm supposed to watch, And there was a lull there, it felt like, for a little bit. But recently it's been like, God damn, like I got like 6 hours of fucking TV I got to watch here to keep up with these stories. Got to watch my stories. Now, none of it's the enthrallment of scrambling an egg for competition, but there's some good takers on there. So we'll do top 5 best TV shows on TV right now to change things up. But before that, we'll do the Celtics talk. We'll get back to Tatum MVP, Jaylen Brown flight risk. We'll go back to Ray's opening point, Mac on the hot seat. We'll do the TV show. Bruins made a trade today. Rumors were swirling. Some big pieces out the door, some not so big pieces in the door. We'll explore that a little bit. And Simplets Minds of the Week. Yuck.
I forgot. Yes. Yes.
This is the Simple Mind Sports Show, Friday Rewind, February 24th. Welcome to the show. If you watch it on YouTube, you're welcome. We look particularly good today, especially Ray.
Thanks.
This show's brought to you by Peloton, apparently.
Mm.
We'll get them. We'll get them. Look, you could be the key to a major sponsorship deal.
Could you make it through the show on a Peloton? Like, could you exercise on the show?
Now, does he have
How
to
much do I
give
have to
his
talk?
regular stupid takes? Or
Yeah,
As
do I have to
normal as
talk?
you would. They're just like at a casual pace on the bike and just casually as you would.
That's a good one to do. And we already have the before picture. If we just take Dark Side of the Fupa as your before and then get a nice after picture, all with your Peloton on
that
the
one
on
where
the
he
show.
looks like a terrorist.
You haven't seen the Dark Side of the Fupa yet, Bobby.
I'll send you the Dark Side of the Fupa.
Oh god, there's another one. God damn it.
It's on par with the lady shoving a fish up her cooter. That we'll talk about later. If that doesn't get you fired up, then W Energy will. Go to w.gg, type in promo code Simple Minds for 15% off all orders. You got to get into the energy game. It's not just drinks anymore. They got gummies, they got sauces, they got sprinkles, whatever you need. Shakes, shake it. Whatever you need to get your day started or to finish it off, go to w.gg, Simple Minds for promo code 15% off all your orders. Jayson Tatum, the MVP, 55 points, 22 of 31 field goals, 10 of 18 from 3, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 35 minutes in a win, 184 to 175 in what Jaylen Brown described as a glorified layup line. Obviously, the All-Star game has just evaporated into nothing. I just had zero desire to watch it. It's on late. I don't care about it. They had a couple good years there where they changed the rules where the fourth quarter was competitive, but the last 2 years and then this one was a joke. But Tatum went out, dropped 55, broke a record. Anthony Davis, 2017, had the scoring record, got his MVP, which is important because let me give you some statistics. And I chronicled this in depth on simplemindsports.com, which is blaring with page views right now. So go check that out. Go to the blog. The last four of the last 5 All-Star MVPs have made the NBA Finals. 2 of those 4 have won the NBA Finals. It would have been 3 of 4, but Slim Reaper's Achilles snapped in 1,000 pieces.
Mm-hmm.
The only year the MVP did not make it in the past 5 was Kawhi Leonard. You know what year that was? 2020.
Whole year.
What happened that year? 7 million people died. That's right.
Oh, COVID.
Or the China virus, depending on which hat you're wearing. China. We don't talk politics on the show. No. 2018, LeBron, MVP of the All-Star game. 2019, Kevin Durant, MVP of the All-Star game. 2020, Kawhi. 21, Giannis, they won. 22, Steph, obviously, they just won. So I ask, how important is it that Jayson Tatum won the MVP? On the surface, we want to say not at all. But in today's NBA, it's basically anointing the next greatest player in the league. If you take that list, LeBron, Durant, Kawhi, Giannis, Steph, Every one of those has been a league MVP and obviously considered the best player in the league at one point in time. So your thoughts on Tatum and his MVP performance in Salt Lake City?
For Dookie, that's amazing because that's probably going to go right up there with the Deuce's first Father's Day card that he gave him because, he just cares about the nonsense. Like, this isn't MJ or Kobe that we're talking about. This is the next generation of these guys that are soft and just want all the accolades and participation trophies. So good for him. Hopefully he gets a little bit more money because he needs it. And bring us a ring now.
Is it good for, here you go, Bobby. Is it good for him, you cynical fuck, or is it good for the Celtics? Because what led to those LeBron, Durant, and Steph and Giannis is they went to the championship and two of them won it.
But one of them didn't.
Well, the world stopped.
So it's good for it's good for Tatum. It's not good for the Celtics.
There. Well, if Tatum are you following me, Bobby, or is this?
Well, I'm following from a historical perspective. Like, yes, this is an excellent thing for him to attract to be on, but like it's a track that isn't like. It's not concrete. It's just like kind of like a happenstance thing. Like, put it this way.
How dare you criticize my statistical analysis?
I'm not criticizing it. I'm saying that it just doesn't mean anything. Like, that's all. Like,
thank you, Bobby.
Listen,
I'm not saying it's useless. I'm just saying it's bullshit.
Yeah, whatever. Tatum cares about it. The players care about it. I don't know if the Celtics do. Like, it's that. Here's the deal. The Celtics care about how he plays in the fourth quarter. Everybody knows that this guy can put up points and score. And I think part of what the league, like, you look at this list, I think the participants in the All-Star game are half like, all right, it's this guy's time to shine. And they were all just half letting Tatum just have his game because they're not really playing. So
who had his shoe drop that day too.
Exactly. There you go. And the shoe drop. So it's really more about how he prepares in the fourth quarter. He's got to be ready to. We all know he can just get out there and play ball, but when the money's on the line is what matters for Tatum.
I'm with you. I mean, I get it. On the surface, like I said, on the surface, it really doesn't mean anything, but I think it's unwise not to pay attention to those trends in the NBA. And as much as we want to be old guys and say, yeah, they let him have his day and there's no defense and, did he really earn it? I don't know. This is just the way that they do it now. And the way they do it when it's his day, generally he goes on to an NBA championship for the past half decade. So I think that bodes well for you. I think the better part of this is his running mate, Jaylen Brown, who also had a killer game, 35 points, 16-27, 14 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals in 25 minutes. He came out after the game, after his buddy won the MVP and said, quote, all is fun. Excuse me. All is fun in games like this. He said, real basketball is different. This was like a layup line. I don't know how much notoriety we would want to get from this. This was a glorified layup line. We got to figure out how to make this game a little bit more competitive. If the fans like it, that's all that matters. The fans don't like it, Jaylen. The fans don't like it. And then this was followed up. I don't know if Anthony Edwards said this before or after the All-Star break, but this is just to cue into maybe these Gen Zers are not as big of pussies as the millennials that Ray hates so much. Anthony Edwards came out and said, quote, all these guys sitting, resting, that's the only thing I probably don't like. Just play, man. If you're 80%, you got to play. I don't like sitting, missing games and stuff. These people might have enough money to come to one game, and that might be the game that they come to and you're sitting out. And just to go along with this narrative that I'm creating, YouTube brought me to the 2003 All-Star game the other night while I was up at 4 o'clock in the morning doing the baby thing. And I watched it basically in its entirety. Those fuckers played. Like, they played hard. That was Garnett, Kobe, Duncan, Michael Jordan was his last game. They were making a big hurrah at him. It went to double overtime. Steph Marbury was drilling threes. Kobe Bryant was hitting threes. MJ hit a turnaround J that should have won the game. I mean, look, it wasn't the NBA Finals with the defense, but you compare that to what we saw over last weekend and now, and they were out there to put on a show basketball-wise, not just glorified layup lines. So it feels like between Jaylen, Anthony Edwards, and some of these other guys that are coming up, there will be some changes. And if Jaylen Brown's the running mate to Jayson Tatum, who likes to glorify it, and Jaylen's like, no, let's actually play some ball. I think you got a good dichotomy on your team. All to say, I think you're heading in a very good direction with all that combined for the Celtics.
It looks like the league is aligning for it to be the Celtics' year.
It's Celtics are bust now. I mean, you're the best team in the NBA. Who you have in the East, it's going to be a problem for you. You have a clear final, destination of the finals, and you went there last year. You got punched by a dynasty because the Golden State just took your fucking. What they won in 5 or 6? Yeah. 6. I mean 6. So I mean, Golden State, I don't think will be there. So there's really no. You should win the NBA title, barring any injuries.
Just get Mike Muscala the ball and get the fuck out of the way.
Great white hope.
And a $20 million ball to Grant Williams. Yeah, I think you've got. I think all the pieces are in place. You got to stay healthy. And Bobby, you hit it. Your best player has to perform in crunch time, and that gap has widened for Jayson Tatum. When he started out, he's had pressure on him since he was a rookie. He's been starting since he was a rookie. In the fourth quarter, that gap of him being able to execute was really wide. Now it's down to like the last minute of a game in a 2-possession game, and he kind of falls apart. You give him the ball up to with 30 seconds left. I've seen him hit a lot of those shots. So can he narrow that gap enough, or will he need to? Is this is the Celtics team just head and shoulders above everybody else to the point where they might not need him to do that? That's
where Mazzulla's got to earn his money, his undisclosed contract money. If he's going to be like that, then he's got to coach around it.
Agreed. Any thoughts on them taking the intern tag off of Mazzulla before the All-Star break?
It was always going to happen, right? I mean,
why now though? That's the big question. Why all of a sudden?
I mean, I like a lot of the theories that came out. So you went and coached the All-Star game. He's going to be around all these All-Stars, the best players in the league. We know the fraternizing that goes on there. You don't want a guy part-time. Am I going to be there next year? Jaylen Brown's contract's coming up, which we'll get to in a second. Jayson Tatum is, heralded as one of the top 3 players in the league right now. So you start putting doubt in people's minds, and then you get them around all these other guys. Shit happens. So lock him in. Now he's here. He's got a contract. He's a Celtics head coach, youngest coach in the league, best record in the league, best player in the league. You guys got something cooking. Like you said, Bobby, they rolled out the red carpet for Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown. They let him go one-on-one for basically 4 possessions straight at the All-Star game in front of the world. It was the Celtics weekend. And I think it was important for them to give Mazzulla the head coaching job, because you're right, Bobby. It was always going to happen. They were never going to bring Udoka back. I don't know what kind of legal shit was getting in the way of firing him, or gamesmanship of waiting long enough through the season where he's not going to go coach another team this year. So I think it's all good. I don't think you have many arrows pointing down for the Celtics right now, except the other comment out of Jaylen Brown this past week, which I'll read to you. Some people are taking it as a positive. I immediately took it as a branch shaker. Let me give it to you. Jaylen Brown, I labeled him as a flight risk. He said, quote, "It takes sacrifice on my behalf," Brown told reporters at the NBA All-Star Weekend in Salt Lake City. "It's definitely a lot of opportunities that you can be that guy, but the ultimate goal for me and Jayson has always been to win games. So when you see team dynamics, there's nothing wrong with doing your job on the team. So throughout my career, I've learned to be and play the role that has been needed for me to play, and I think that's part of why the success has been able to happen. Being able to humble yourself and be like, yeah, I know I could be doing somewhere else, but there's no problem being a great team guy and winning here in Boston." There are a lot of happy words in that sentence. Sounds to me like a guy who thinks he's better than the position he's in, and maybe itching for a chance to prove it. Am I off?
No,
I think he's been talking to Grant Williams.
They're going to go start their own team. They have 2 max contracts. Let's go, Grant.
Fuckers. Am I off there? Do you think he has the maturity to go, I can be the Klay Thompson, I can be the Scottie Pippen, I can be the 1B here and be cool with it? the other positive the Celtics have is if he makes the All-NBA team this year, he's got $270 million coming his way if he sticks with the Celtics as opposed to a measly 180 if he goes somewhere else. I don't know. It's not just this comment. He said things like this in the past. I think he's mature enough to do it now, and I think that they're on a good track to win a championship this year. But if they win a championship this year,
Bye-bye.
Don't you think the last box for him to check is I can go do this by myself?
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. I think if they win an NBA championship, that's going to be the deciding factor for him to leave, because he did it with Jayson. They won the games. He won a championship with him. And now let me go do it by myself.
Yeah. I think he's insinuating that he could be the number one on a team. Like, he could be the best guy on, insert random NBA team that gets him into the playoffs. Yeah, exactly. Any of those things where he could get the max deal and just get all his stats and ball and never have to worry about it. He was there first. I think he might be a little bit salty that Tatum got anointed and like he didn't maybe get that like full look. I mean, he was still a high pick. What was he, like 5? Something like
3.
that? He was 3? Okay, yeah. Like he was still a high pick. So he might be a little salty about that. And like he might think like he knows Tatum's game in and out and sizes him up. He might think he's every bit as good as he is. Every bit.
He's not. I mean, I love Jaylen Brown, but he's not as good as Tatum. He doesn't see the doubles. He doesn't see the triples that Tatum sees. He's not as big. He's not as good of a shooter. He's not as good of a scorer. He's not even good as a defensive. He's just not as good as Jayson Tatum. He's terrific. I would love it if he had the maturity just to be like, fuck it. Like, I'll ride with Tatum and be the next Golden State Warriors for the next 7 years. That'd be great. I have my doubts. All right. We'll get into the Mac Jones talk right after headlines with the obvious one.
Thank you there, Richard. And as you were saying, the NBA All-Star game was Sunday, and Team Giannis got the win over Team LeBron, 184-175, a defensive game nonetheless. Jayson Tatum took home MVP honors with 55 points and 10 boards, while Jaylen Brown had 35 points in a losing effort. Celtics are back in action against the Pacers as we speak, and they are winning 68-61 in the third quarter. Yeah, in breaking news for the Bruins, trade has been accepted between the Bees and Capitals. Forward Garnett Hathaway and defenseman Dmitry Orlov, I probably said both of those wrong, are coming to Boston in return for Craig Smith and picks. The Bruins are in Seattle Thursday night against the Kraken at 10, and I will be in bed. And the Red Sox begin spring training games in Florida Saturday against the Atlanta Braves and Sox president. The Atlanta Braves, the Sox, Boston Red Sox.
Got it.
They play baseball.
What's that?
They're not very good at it, though. But however, Sox president Sam Kennedy gave his approval to Chaim Bloom. Cool. That is headlines with the obvious one. Back to you there, Richard.
Thank you, Raymond. Not a lot going on. Yeah, it's the All-Star break. It's February. You know what was going on? I was talking to my father-in-law about this morning. I guess the XFL put on a pretty good show this past weekend.
Did he talk to you about the team that was AJ McCarron that was down 15-3, and they scored, and you can go for 3 points for an extra point?
Yeah.
And he went for the extra. They got the 3 points, so then they were down. They had 9, so that's 12. So they're down 12, and then you can go for 4th and 15 instead of doing an onside kick. Converted it, and then scored another touchdown and took the lead, just like that.
Yeah, it seems like those offensive rules are pretty good. And good synopsis there, Ray. Nice. The Peloton is not only shedding weight, it's increasing brain cells.
See that fucking math? Simple math, right there. Right on.
It's very good.
Thank you.
It's very good.
Thank you, guys.
We're not going to talk about the Red Sox until we absolutely have to, so we'll leave that to the side. But John Henry, you're welcome, Bobby. John Henry's email exchange over the weekend, which is getting some play, is fucking stellar. Maybe I'll do a blog on it tomorrow. It's the delusion that's going on down there in Fenway
he's senile. He is.
It's actually good, because you know what? If they were just like honest with us about the Red Sox, it'd be even more boring because they suck so bad and they have no direction. But the fact that they're senile, delusional fucks trying to talk us into the fact that they're better than they were when they won the World Series, when you can't name half the team and they got nobody in fucking the farm system coming up, it's turning for me. It's more entertaining now. Not as entertaining as our beloved New England Patriots and my beloved Mac Jones, although he is on the hot seat. Or is he? Albert Breer, as you said in the opening take, I'll give you his quote that he had here on the Zolek and Bertrand show. I don't think Bill, this is what Albert Breer said, quote, I don't think Bill Belichick appreciated the way that Mac handled some stuff last year. Breer said, there's a way that I think Bill thinks a franchise quarterback should conduct himself. And for the most part, Tom Brady did conduct himself that way. I think there were certain things in the way that Mac handled his second year as a pro that Bill didn't appreciate. He goes on to talk about kind of trade scenarios and the Raiders being top of the list, but maybe not so now. He says, quote, I don't know how in love the Raiders are with Mac. Like, if you're talking about getting their first round pick, I don't think that's happening, which is 7th, by the way. So no shit, you're not getting the 7th pick for Mac Jones. Since that point when he went on the radio, basically everybody has come out and said it's bullshit, including myself on the silverminesportso.com. They're not trading Mac Jones. I don't know if this was a ribbing from Belichick, Albert Breer being a mouthpiece for the coach, getting out there trying to push Mac's buttons some more. But it's not happening. And Tommy Curran reported, quote, or maybe Robert Kraft said this on camera or on record at least. When asked about trading Mac Jones, he said, over my dead body.
Which that's not really, he's old.
Easy,
that can happen anytime.
So it's
I'm
not
just saying,
unplausible, he's saying?
Yeah, I mean, this could happen.
What a series of headlines that would be. Beloved Patriots owner dies at the age of 89. A breaking headline, Mac Jones traded. Mac Jones traded for a conditional 6th round pick.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. Would you trade him? What would you let's play this game for a couple of minutes. Would you trade him? What would you get for him? What would be the quarterback plan? You going with Zappy Fever, Zap Daddy? You're going to go try and get in the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes. Jimmy Garoppolo's name is being tossed around. I'll give you a mock trade that was presented with the Raiders. Mac Jones would be sent to the Raiders along with a 2024 4th round pick. In return, the Patriots would get a 2023 second. That's an early second, 2023 third, and 2024 fourth third. So 2 thirds and a second for Mac Jones in that proposed trade. If you take that as somewhat of relatively of what the return could be, maybe a high first, early second, a couple conditionals thrown in there, and you got the likes of Jimmy Garoppolo out there, or an Aaron Rodgers, which is never going to happen. I don't know. I know it's not going to happen, so it's hard for me to paint a picture and play devil's advocate here. Any of you want to try to do better?
There's only 3 people I would take in this. Like, if they did it and like they were all for it, but they have to get this quarterback in return. So it's either Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, or Jimmy G. If they're guaranteed to get one of those guys back or in the building, then I'm all for trading Mac Jones for whatever. But if not, then we're rolling with Mac.
You could probably say you can guarantee you get Jimmy G. Free agent, you can sign anywhere. He's licking. He's got Bill Belichick's ball sack like a bird bath, licking the Gatorade out of the thing. He would come back to the Patriots probably on a cheap deal.
You think so?
That's your scenario.
Yeah,
that's your scenario. So you'll take a second and 2 thirds for Mac Jones and bring in 31-year-old Jimmy Garoppolo.
That knows this is, yeah, I would.
Yeah, for me, the only way that I'm pro trading Mac Jones only under the scenario that we're getting something significantly better with long-term returns. You look at the 4 teams that were in the Super Bowl, 3 of them had quarterbacks on rookie deals. The other one was the greatest player, the best quarterback in the league. And
what did you say before that? You were about to say the greatest player of all time, weren't you?
Well, the greatest quarterback in the league.
Oh, okay.
So put it this way. Right now, what I'm enthralled with is having a rookie quarterback and building the team around him and constantly trying to go through rookie quarterbacks. So you're having a stacked roster until you absolutely get the guy and pay him, because all these other teams that pay their quarterbacks this big money, like if they're not the guy, you can't put the team around him. So I don't want to trade Mac Jones while he's on a rookie deal and not stack the roster and then get some middling guy. We're going to be the same team, but we're going to be locked in without flexibility. So I would rather keep Mac Jones and build the roster unless we can get 100% a stacked guy that we can pay and move forward with.
Now, that being said, You're not going to get the guy. You're not going to get.
Oh, I agree. So he's not getting traded.
Right. So it's bullshit. You got to keep him. And how bad is he? How bad is he? So Matt Castle, our very favorite Matt Castle,
according to him, he's pretty bad.
Not that high on one Mac Jones. Let me do this. Let me play a game. Here's a game. Ray, do you have your ledger?
Always.
I want to say some quarterback names, and say yes or no. Yes, if you would take Mac Jones over this guy. Okay.
Ready.
Okay. So just count the no's. Got it? And that'll give us his ranking, I think. Okay. I'm going to start with something called Ritter. Yes, I would take Mac Jones over something called Ritter. That's how the game's going to work.
Give me Mac Jones.
Mike White?
Mike White.
Yes.
Yes.
Sam Darnold.
Yes.
Yes.
Davis Mills.
Yes.
Yes.
Baker Mayfield.
Yes.
Kenny Pickett.
Yes.
Fine. For this exercise.
You lose. I'm taking him over Kenny Pickett. I think kid's got moxie, but I don't think he's not as good. Jacoby Brissett.
Yes.
Yes.
Deshaun Watson.
No.
No.
Russell Wilson.
No.
2022 Russell Wilson?
Yeah, you got to go by what he's doing right now.
Yes.
He's had way too much sex.
Yes.
Okay, I'll go yes. Andy Dalton.
Yes.
Jimmy
Yes.
Garoppolo.
No.
Yes.
You going yes, Richard? You're the tiebreaker.
I'm going to go yes. Yeah.
Oh, you fucking dink.
God, he is handsome, though.
Yeah. Some point.
Ryan Tannehill.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Matt Stafford.
No.
Yes. We're going by
Yes.
2022.
He has no back.
Yeah.
He might not play again. Future MVP of the league, Kyler Murray.
Yes.
No.
No. Give me Kyler Murray.
Okay.
Brock Purdy.
Yes.
No.
Give me Mac over Brock Purdy. Have we lost the rules to the game?
No. I would
Ray,
take
you
Mac
like-
over. I like Mac over Purdy.
Yeah, I
do
would
too.
take Mac over Purdy.
Yeah. Okay. Bobby lost
So
the rules of the game
Bobby
for a
lost
second.
the
He
rules.
lost his head for a second. Daniel Jones.
No.
Yes. Fuck Daniel Jones.
Bobby's the tiebreaker. Don't.
Yeah, I would rather have Mac Jones.
Thank you for than the $45 million
Listen.
Daniel Jones that he asked for.
They're both
dookie,
southern-looking moronic people, okay? I would just prefer my southern-looking moron, okay?
Speaking of southern-looking morons, Derek Carr.
Yes.
Yes, I will take Mac Jones over Derek Carr.
Yes.
Tua Tagovailoa.
No.
Yes, he has no brain. He's a scarecrow.
Yeah, I'll take
That's
that.
his new nickname.
You can't answer until Bobby answers, you son of a bitch.
He's not
Stop.
Bill. I don't have the mind control over him.
I
like
think you do.
over-
I think you do.
Justin Fields.
I would love Justin Fields on this team.
Yeah, give me Justin.
I think he might have turned me around if he was under. Yes, okay. I'll take Fields over him. Jared Goff.
Mac.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Mac.
for Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Yes. Cousins.
No. I take
Because-
Cousins.
You
I'll
like
take
that?
Mac.
You lose.
Okay. Do you want my reasoning?
Nope.
He's been in the league for
No, I said no.
He's
I
been
said
in the league
no. I don't want your
for
reasoning. I said
12
no.
years. You know what? We pay for this. I haven't used this option enough. But I had to mute him. I had to
Why
mute.
is Geno
Ray.
Smith 10? This is ridiculous.
Yeah, we'll go.
This whole
we'll go
list is
through-
fucking stupid.
We'll go through Matt
okay?
Castle's list after this. We've been going backwards on it, but it is insane. Kirk Cousins has been in the league for 12 years. He's proven at every step along the way he cannot win big games. Did you see the pass he made on fourth down in that playoff game? Give me the upside of basically what Mac Jones is Kirk Cousins, but maybe he has just a little bit bigger nutsack and when the moment comes. Maybe
The past 11 people haven't had a fucking.
They're probably
they can't
the
win a big
same
game in
size
any of
sack.
these guys.
Geno Smith.
No.
Give me Mac.
You want
I
Geno over Mac?
I would take Geno over Mac.
No. The only guy I wouldn't take over Cam Newton, Geno Smith. I want Mac over him.
Okay.
Dak Prescott.
No, I'd take Dak.
I'll take
Yeah.
Dak.
Give me Dak.
The rest of these guys are all going to be there. So Aaron Rodgers, Trevor Lawrence, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes.
Hey, where's Joe Burrow ranked right there?
You know what? I wouldn't go by this. How many no's did we get?
14.
So that puts him as the 15th quarterback in the in the league.
Yep. Right after Tua and right before Derek.
He gets a bump. He gets a bump because Brady retired. He would have been in 16.
Oh, yeah, true.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, maybe something called Ritter got in the way.
He's he's an average quarterback.
He's an average quarterback with, I think, potential as a rookie year. He was a top 10 quarterback. I got a stat for you, Ray, that I mentioned last week. He was a top 5 quarterback in the statistic, and he has a chance to be again. But just real quickly, can we just run through this Matt Castle, at least the front part of this? What drugs was this guy on? Here's his quarterback rankings, 2023. Number 1, Mahomes, sure. Number 2, Jalen Hurts. Number 2, the second best quarterback in the league, Jalen Hurts. I like him, but come on. Number 2.
He was clearly just doing this based off of the Super Bowl.
Joe Burrow, number 3. Josh Allen, number 4. Justin Herbert, number 5. Fine. Lamar Jackson, 6. Trevor Lawrence, 7. Rodgers, 8.
But look at that. Look at the whole landscape
Prescott,
of these.
Just let me get to the one that's fucking crazy. Prescott, 9. Geno Smith, 10.
Oh, sorry.
Geno Smith.
Comeback player of the year.
I guess after that, there's not a whole lot of great shit after that, to be frank. The quarterback field is not good, but I'll take Garoppolo over him, over Geno Smith, Deshaun Watson. And I would just shit on Russell Wilson, but I don't know. Seems
you
like
could go after
Geno Smith.
After number 6, you could literally say it's a roll of the dice for the NFL.
No, Lawrence is great. Rodgers is great. And Prescott is good at times.
Lawrence has had a good year this year. Rodgers is fucking out there in outer space with his fucking darkness retreat. No one knows what the fuck he's going to do.
He is out of his darkness retreat, Ray.
He's made up his mind. We'll all be informed shortly.
Yeah, when the fucking beams from the sky and his tinfoil hat comes off, then he'll tell us.
Waited with bated breath. Mac Jones, in a statistical study done by a attractive woman from BC, was the 5th highest graded passer in 2022 when kept clean. That's per Pro Football Focus, trailing only the great Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, and Trevor Lawrence. Did you hear that, Ray?
You say? No, yeah. What was that? You said an attractive girl?
Yeah. This woman from BC that did it is
BC, like Boston College?
Yeah. So she's religious. So
local?
New Englander.
Attractive girl. From BC.
Is this how you got that fish video, you sick fuck?
Okay, quick break. We'll be right back.
You and the 10 other nasty bastards in that Reddit thread. What Reddit thread did you pull that from?
Bobby, stop spoiling it for Simplest Minds of the Week.
Whatever.
Jeez.
I know you're not a fisherman, Ray, so you can't use that as an excuse. I was looking up. Maybe
I'll tell you the story when we get to it. Jesus Christ, guys. God.
All right. Before we get to the Simplest Minds of the Week and Trout Crotch, let's do our top 5, the top 5, the newest segment on the show. And as we mentioned on the top, we're going to do top 5 TV shows on TV right now. So I had a hard time defining what right now is, but it's got to be in season, not like in production. And obviously not a show that ended. So Prison Break is off the charts, Ray. Sorry.
That's sad.
Okay.
Never seen Prison Break.
Wow, Bobby, you're not filling this role very well.
I'm aware of the show. Never seen it.
Well,
all you have to do is watch this first season. After that, it sucks. Okay, first season was brilliant.
How good of a show is it?
We've beaten Ray down into admitting that. At first, it was the obvious one was trying to convince us that it was the. I don't know.
Oh, that girl. I remember now.
The girl that went to prison?
Yeah.
Okay, can I give you my top 5? This is what brought me to this this brain conundrum the other night. These are the shows that I was trying to catch up on. So this is not really in any order. I didn't put enough thought into that, but certainly I think at the top, if I were to order it, Last of Us on HBO based on the game. I think what did Billy Bombs tell us is the highest rated TV show of all time on Rotten Tomatoes.
On Rotten Tomatoes, yeah. Yep.
You watching it, Ray?
Yeah. Spoiler alert, he dies at the end.
That's season 2. So
You think? You think they're gonna keep him around for season 2? Yeah, they have to. That's good ratings. Yeah.
or did you play the game? I'm not a video game person. I haven't picked up a controller in like years, but that's one that I did play.
Yeah, he does.
He died in the second one.
No, he was already dead in the second one because she's a lesbian. That's why Bill didn't play
He
it.
dies at the beginning of the second game. That's not semantics. That's facts. You fucking. I feel like we're not going to get anywhere with this one, Bobby, because he's all hung up on Bobby Flay.
No, I'm fine to discuss it. I'm just letting you two have this argument.
All right. Do you watch the show?
The Last of Us, no, I haven't seen it.
Okay,
but I
so
am
shut the fuck up. The second one I had on this list, 1923, one of the spin-offs from Yellowstone. Harrison Ford, Helen Mirren, some really attractive guy that's roaming around Africa shooting lions and banging British girls, and the Irish guy from Game of Thrones, who's fucking shit up. So good actors, super dramatic. Cinematography is fantastic. Story's pretty good. 1923. Anyone watching that?
Nope.
Damn it, Bobby. Fucking all this guy is frying pans and fucking toasters. Ray, I know I can get you on this one. Mayor of Kingstown, season 2.
Yes.
Jeremy Renner, no-legged Jeremy Renner. R.I.P.
Isn't it weird that he got hurt right before this came out? Like he got hurt and then it premiered after.
A little tinfoil hat action.
I don't want to be that conspiracy theory guy, but maybe.
He's a goddamn hero, Ray. He saved his niece from a plow running her over.
How does a plow run you over, though?
Do you remember that? Just kind of go forward.
Do you remember that guy? Did you ever see Alpha Dog?
Maybe.
It's based on a true story. Justin Timberlake, they like kidnapped this kid and killed him out in the dunes or whatever because the guy was a fucking.
That's an old movie.
That guy that died, he got ran over by a car that was parked in his driveway and it crushed him. Like, how does that happen?
Simple minds.
Conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theory. He knew something. He knew something.
Mayor of Kingstown is nuts. Mayor of Kingstown's an absolutely nuts. Paramount or whatever it's on.
Yep, Paramount Plus. Very good show.
The season finale of season 1 was bananas.
Yeah,
and a lot of shock and awe on this show. Not afraid to give it all out there.
Watch this though. Want to see shock and awe? Hey, Bobby, have you ever seen that?
Shock and awe.
No, Mayor of Kingstown. He's not even.
No, Mayor of Kingstown. No.
Oh, yeah, shocking. Next on my list.
Can we talk about the ones I know? Succession. Yeah. That's a fucking good show.
All right, Bobby. All right,
Bobby, go ahead.
All right,
next on my list was Succession. I did a catch up on this. I tried to watch the first season, and I don't know the main kid. What's the main kid's name? Kendall.
Yeah,
I hated him so much that I refused to watch the show. I just hated how big of a bitch he was, and but then I caught up on all of it, and yeah, it's good. The main guy, the main alpha dog is awesome. Brian Cox is the actor, and then everything else around it is drama and good.
The best character in that show is Tom.
Tom is the best show.
When he has to go in front of Congress and they're reading the emails out to him, it's like in order to make a Greglet, you have to crack a bunch of Gregs.
Yeah, I like
how he literally just harasses him.
His he's excellent. Him and the Greg dynamic, especially season 1, that comedic break is awesome. It's super funny. Ray, you watching Succession?
Nope.
Cool. And then last thing on here, Yellowstone. It's lost its luster for me, but
it's a soap opera.
It's the Sopranos of the West.
Yeah, I think.
But I like Kevin Costner.
I've seen like 3-4
I basically put it on there
for
Bill.
Kind of like it's too formulaic.
Yeah, they overextended themselves.
Yeah,
a little too much, and their stories are getting a little bit crazy. But
that's what they do. That's what happened with Prison Break.
I know, baby. I know. I had a couple that are out of season that we could talk about if you wanted to, but anybody else got any on the list that you're watching?
Right now, All I'm watching is this fucking county. I talked to you about it, the Murdoch murders. It's on HBO. It's 3 parts. Corruption at its finest.
I think I saw a preview for that. I'm not big into the real life murder stuff.
Oh, I am. I could. I watched.
Like, I didn't watch the Dahmer.
48 Hours. I watched Dahmer. I watched all that shit.
Yeah, I could get into some of that stuff.
I'd rather like a whodunit true crime thing than a murder. Because, like, I don't know.
No, they don't know. Well, you find out at the end who did it all, but yeah, it was I like that.
Isn't it
The one I like?
true
I
story?
like the missing people one, where people just disappear and they don't know why. Like, I think that one's more interesting.
Like, what did you say? Missing people?
Yeah, where it's like, how like it'll be on like a Discovery Channel, something like that, where it's just like missing, where like they don't really know what happened to them, but they're just gone, and they like try and figure out why.
Wasn't there a Netflix one where they're doing like a bunch of weed out in the like Pacific Northwest, and like these people kept going to the like Weed Mountain or something, and they were all getting abducted?
Well, there's this big conspiracy about like the national parks having huge, like there's an underground society going on, because there's like maps of people that disappear through the national parks, and the Adirondacks is one of them, never to be heard from again. But it's almost like calculated, and they all disappear in the same spot, and they all have connections to like certain people, and it's a proper conspiracy theory.
I think there's a TV show about that.
I think there is too.
It was about like a bunch of hillbillies that lived in Kentucky somewhere.
No, it was about a Oceanic Flight 947 that was going from
over the place
Australia
now.
to California.
Here's a couple out of season that are coming back at some point in time. Ray, I know you watched maybe a couple
The
of
Boys.
these. The Boys, the anti-superhero movie on what's that?
Amazon. That's on Amazon.
Ted Lasso.
I don't watch Ted Lasso. Everyone tells me I have to watch it.
It's worth watching.
It's worth a watch. Severance. Did you guys watch Severance?
I like Severance. Yeah,
Severance?
That was good.
Give me a little synopsis.
It's basic. Severance is with Adam Scott, the guy from Parks and Rec, and it's a basically you go to work, and when you go to work, your brain shuts off from your private life, and then you leave, and your brain shuts off from your work life.
So I did.
And I don't know. The story devolves into, I don't know, the characters and the conspiracy behind it.
Cool. Yeah, as to like why they're there, who did it, whatever.
Cool.
It's very good. Stranger Things is still going on.
Yep.
Last season coming up.
Yep. Also, does any of you watch The Umbrella Academy?
Yeah, I almost put it on there. That's like white noise bullshit for me.
Oh, I like that. Especially that girl, the girl that was on The Other Family that year. Speaking of girls, Wednesday. Did you watch Wednesday?
No.
Oh, Jenna Ortega. Woo!
No, on the hierarchy of reasons for you to turn a show on, so it's murder and then just stare at a hot girl.
Nope. First stare at a hot girl, then murder. Yep. And then storyline.
Okay. So storyline's at least top 3.
Yeah, but I can be talked out of it.
Yeah, no.
Easily.
I can be
like maybe nice tits, then storyline.
Yeah,
so that could be 4.
Okay, and just like just mindless action.
Yeah.
Got it. So basically,
like pew pew, like on our text exchange, pew pew pew. That's all I need.
Pew pew. Yeah, so it's like the Joe Burrow of
you
reasons to watch this TV show outside of top 5.
Son of a bitch.
Snuck it in.
Anyone else? Any more you want to throw on there?
No.
That was our top 5 segment. We'll be right back with the Bruins trade, breaking Bruins trade, and what it means. Be right back.
Sky rockets in flight. Afternoon delight. Whoop. You guys have it, I think. Afternoon delight.
I don't know, Ron. That sounds kind of crazy.
I'm a little upset Bobby didn't talk about Bobby Flay. But...
He gave us all he could give on that opening cut.
He is itching to go watch some Food Network right now.
Can't fucking wait. The top 5 are just the 5 Food Network shows.
The Food Network, for the people that are really into the Food Network, I really hope you say that this is true for you, Bobby. The TV never goes off. It's just always on Food Network.
You
It's
can
continuous
just like leave it on
programming.
in the background. Yes.
This
Yeah.
woman, though, no, there's a woman on Sunday morning. She does like
Does she have big
like,
tits?
no, she does she does like brunches and shit. And the shit she comes out with like southern
that lines up above storyline in the hierarchy too. Are they talking about like how good does the
Brunch.
food look?
Yeah.
How good do the women look?
Yeah, she does like southern cooking, and it's like all like I don't like
How many
grits,
people have died?
Yeah, I mean, like years ago when Giada was hot until she got old, that was an excellent show to watch. But then now,
No idea what you're talking about.
she's
Did you
old.
do what's that Great British Cook-Off Bake-Off thing?
No,
What's that?
No. I don't care about baking. I like cooking.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Apologies.
yeah, you fucking loser.
God damn it.
Apologies. Speaking of fucking losers, the Garnett Hathaway and Dmitry Orlov for leaving those losers the Caps. Brought that one back around. To come to a real organization in the Bruins. Traded this afternoon, breaking news, for Craig Smith in his bloated salary, a 2023 first-round pick, 2025 second-round pick, and 2024 third-round pick going out the door for the Bruins. And coming back forward, Garnett Hathaway and defenseman Dmitry Orlov. Now, us being hockey guys, let me tell you a little bit about these.
Can I tell you real quick? Ty Anderson, very high on Orlov. He says this is a two-way player who can put up some fucking minutes. So come playoff time, he'll be out there all the time.
So he won the cup with the Caps a couple years ago. He's putting up 22 minutes right now. Left shot defenseman with the Bruins we're looking for. He's 31. He's got 3 goals, 19 points, 88 hits, 62 block shots in 43 games. He's 5'11", though. I would like someone a little bit bigger. You're looking to get big on that back line. Is 5'11" big enough?
You son of a bitch. Yeah, it's tall.
Is that with skates?
No, without. They always measure without. So he's like 6'2".
11. Almost there, Dimitri. 11th season in the NHL. If Ty likes him, I guess we like him. Significant playoff experience, 74-game playoff experience. We talked about it last show, and we've been texting about it all week. They were in on what's his goddamn name?
Kitcherin?
Vladislav Gavrikov. They were in on. They were going to give a first and third round pick. That trade was to be on the table this week before we got the breaking news today.
But they didn't want Craig Smith, and they wanted it, and we had to dump salary in order to get him.
They had to dump Craig Smith. So I do still wonder. I mean, I guess you gave up that first and third anyway. So is Gavrikov a better player?
Yeah, Sweetie came out and said that there's no more moves going on, that they don't have to dump any more salaries for cap hits. So this is it. This is all we're getting.
That's it. I'm not. Look, I said a text today, like, the more I thought about that Gavrikov move, the more I was against it. I would have, if they were going to give up a first and a third, I would have liked them to go for Chychrun. Maybe they just didn't have enough in the bag. There were reports that they were unwilling to deal DeBrusk or Carlo, which is dumb. But I hope if they're unwilling to deal DeBrusk or Carlo, then they were unwilling to deal Lysell and Laurie out of their prospect system, and they're trying to keep young guys around, looking towards the future. So maybe that was a philosophy Sweeney was sticking to. And look, you got the best team in the league. You got 91 points. The next closest division rival is the Maple Leafs at 78. You've got it locked up. You got the best record in the league. You got the best team in the league. Really, you got the 2 best goalies in the league. Really, they didn't need to add shit. So the more I thought about it, the more I liked the idea of just getting some depth pieces, getting size in that defensive line, and getting a big winger that can step in on injury, give some guys time off down the stretch, and provide some physicality in the playoffs. And I don't know, looks like they did that a little bit. I'll give you a little bit on the Hathaway kid. Where are you? 6'3", Hathaway.
He's tall.
That's big.
That's a big boy.
Big.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
198 hits this season from the right winger. That's a lot of hits. I think Carlo has 4 or something like that. The leader hitting on the Connor Clifton is leading the Bruins. He has 156. So this guy's going to come in dwarfing the hits for the Bruins, bringing some physicality, which I just asked for. Bruins are familiar with Hathaway's nastiness. He's long been a thorn in the side of Charlie McAvoy in the run-ins with the Bees in the Capitol showdown. Blah, blah, blah. Hathaway has a bit of offensive pop to his game. Put up a career-high 14 goals, 26 points in 76 games with the Caps last season. 31-year-old Hathaway drew some interest from the Bruins in 2019, where he recorded 54 goals, 116 points. That's good. And he's from Maine. He's a fucking maniac.
Hey, go get to the fucking bumper there. Fucking yatter right out. You know?
Okay. Bobby, please save your thoughts. We'll get them later. Ray, any final thoughts as this was the Bruins trade deadline. You got a left shot defenseman, which you wanted to do. A lot of experience there, and you added some physicality and some more depth to your wing position. I think you gave up too much. I hate seeing that first round pick go out the door. Now you're going to go 2 years without a second round pick, 2 years without a first round pick. But it was I guess the last thing I'll say in this, sorry to monopolize this, but if you're going to give up that much, I'm dying to see what Chychrun goes for, and what was the breaking point in that deal that you weren't willing to give up to really go get the guy.
It's fucking Fabian Lazelle, that fucking kid. This better be the next goddamn star in the league, because everyone's talking about it. He's untouchable. When we put out those blogs that we did this week, you can't fucking trade that kid because he's untouchable. This kid better come up and be a 50-point scorer along with fucking Pasta when they re-sign him, because this is just ridiculous talk. I mean, Jake DeBrusk, if you can get a sure left shot defenseman and just be golden going into the playoffs, like, I would get rid of DeBrusk or Swayman. I mean, you can't play both Swayman and fucking Skidmark over there, so why not?
Yeah, I'm with you. I was in on that. The latest deal we heard was DeBrusk or Swayman, a first, a third, and Fabian Lysell for Jacob Chychrun, who's getting paid $4 million for the next 2 years. Is 24 years old. Fits your timeline. You re-sign him with that money. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what he goes for and what was the holdup to get that done. But looks like they got the depth pieces to make the run at the Cup, even if it was an overpay. That's what you do at the deadline. Let's make it worth it. Let's make it worth it. It all goes back to they better win that goddamn Cup. If they don't win that Cup this year, man,
that's it. That has to be it.
That's going to be tough to swallow. That's going to be tough to swallow. That's what Ray Mother says on Tuesday nights. Simplest Minds of the Week right after this.
Are you stupid or something? I'm as stupid as stupid does.
Oh, yeah, it's not funny. Don't chuckle. How dare you?
Speaking of tough to swallow, Simple Mind of the Week.
There it is.
This has nothing to do with the University of Alabama and Brandon Miller.
We'll get to the tough to swallow trout mouth. Before we get to that, the first candidate on Simplest Minds of the Week is coming out of the University of Alabama, or maybe it's just the university itself. High profile story here. Brandon Miller, a projected top 10 NBA pick, just hit the game winner for the Crimson Tide. Basketball player, freshman down there for Alabama. He gave his gun to somebody, which got involved in a murder. Here's the actual headline. Alabama freshman basketball standout Brandon Miller brought a teammate the handgun that was used to kill a woman last month, according to police in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Tuscaloosa detective Brandon Culpepper. Brandon Culpepper down the swamp.
Brandon
Culpepper. Detective Culpepper. Was it the gun in the den that did his poor girl in?
He's in Foghorn Leghorn.
Now, Mr. Brandon Miller, are we sure that his gun Mr. Culpepper? Tuscaloosa Detective Brandon Culpepper testified Tuesday that Miller can't do the whole thing. That Miller brought Darius Miles' gun to him on the night of the fatal shooting of 23-year-old Jemiah Jonay Harris after Miles texted him and asked him to do so. That's Simple Minds. The murderer is the simple. That's where this has to land. Hey, buddy, can I get your gun so I can go shoot my girlfriend in the face? Yeah, man.
No, it's Alabama and the NCAA not spending this kid.
Yeah.
Because the big news is the only reason why this is big news is because he had the game-winning shot against USC yesterday. That's why it's big news now. It's coming out that this kid hasn't been suspended. Goes out, beats USC on a last-second shot. It's like, why is this kid still playing basketball if he's in part of a murder investigation?
Doesn't make a lot of sense. And so it was just like his legal gun, like that was his gun registered to him, and he's like, yeah, sure, go. What the hell?
Click,
Yeah.
clack is what Bill would say.
What did poor
Just-
Jemiah do? Why did she piss off Darius?
I don't know.
Is
I
that
don't know.
Darius Miles, like the former LA Clippers son?
You think it is, Ray? Or do you think Miles is just somewhat of a popular fucking name?
Wow. Wow.
Fucking obvious one. Speaking of that, Ray always raising the level on this show. Oh God,
Oh,
Ray!
God.
How do I even cut that out?
Oh God. How do I even
How do I even get that not in the shot? How do I get that fish being shoved into a woman's? We're gonna have to. How do I don't know how to visually beep this show. It's worse.
That's it.
The
We gotta
second time.
re-record. Oh my God.
So I work with a bunch of blue collar people, and that's how I found Mr. Barry Woods, was through these people. And the other day the guy came over, he goes, "Hey, you like to catch fish?" And I go, "No, I don't fish at all." He goes, "Oh, check out this one." I did what Rich did. I gagged when I saw it. I'm like, "Oh, I couldn't do it." It's just like, and he's giving me like he watched the whole thing. He's giving me the play-by-play. He goes, "Oh, look at the shit. The fish is shitting." Or is that the woman? And I'm like, what?
So what was even I saw like 10 seconds of it and then like it stopped. Like what actually happens in this video and what is the purpose?
So the woman she is being filmed on a boat by her friend, we'll call him. And this is in Australia, and they're on a boat, and he catches what I've now learned is a rainbow trout from everyone that is a fisherman, and he shoves it in there, and he just puts it right into her. But now she, from what I've gathered from other people at work, is that she's getting some crimes against her for animal cruelty.
Peta's on the case.
Peta is on the case because
Well,
you can't do that
Why
down
is
under.
she getting the charges if the guy put it in there?
Because she
It was
let
consensual.
that. Yeah.
Well, hold on.
Clearly, Bobby, you didn't listen to it with the sound up. She wanted that to happen.
Interesting. Well, so if we bring it back to the other case, so just him giving the gun, but he's giving the fish. Okay. So why isn't he getting implicated in this crime?
I know why. If the glove don't fit, you must have quit.
What glove?
This has been the Semi Sports Show. Friday Rewind. February 24th. Bye.
Oh, the editing Rich has to do.
What glove?
Exactly. That's what the fish was going to get.
That poor fish.
That's one of the nastiest things I've seen in a long time.
You're welcome.
I tried to go the distance and
This is a guy at work that watched the whole fucking thing. I'm like, how the hell did you watch that? He goes, what? There's nothing wrong with that. I'm like, that's fucking gross.
Like, I watch this shit every day.
Well, he's a fucked up individual.
her butthole looked like a sea urchin.
I got something troubling on my mind. I got something troubling on my mind. I got something low inside of side. I got something on my
Marty! You've got to come back with me! Where? Back to the future!
Here we are.
Gentlemen.
Hello, boys. How are you?
Very well yourself.
Doing just fine.
Ray, you look excellent.
Thanks.
You even dropped a little weight, Fupa?
I have.
It's that Peloton.
Yeah, you look slim.
It's that fucking German Peloton lady. She's just fabulous.
It might be the fact that you're just in just straight black, so we can't see any of your.
Why do you
curves.
have to? But why do you have to do that? Why?
No,
couldn't you
no,
just-
no.
Why don't you just leave it where it was and just
You're
say,
right.
"Hey,
I'm sorry.
you're looking great. Is the Peloton working? Yeah. Oh man, you look great.
Yeah,
You don't
no.
have to have the
So
black.
that's a spin bike, right? You're doing.
Yeah, sure. I listen to music and fucking watch titties bounce. That's all I do.
So you got to be.
Not mine and not mine. God damn it, Bobby.
There's no mirrors in the room. I wanted to bring this up, Bobby. Do you remember that I had a surprise for you?
I do. I've been waiting.
I want to show you something, and I'm just going to show you this satchel, and I want to see if you know what this is, and then we'll continue from there. But you might get it just from the first look.
Mm.
Do you know what is held in this blue satchel?
Yeah, I think I do. Yes.
Should I give you more guesses, or do you want to take a guess?
Is that the game balls?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, that is.
This is the game balls. The first card you pull out is a what would be a joker, and it says "suck
Oh
it."
yeah. A lot of work went into this.
A lot of work.
This was the beginning of some of the creativity, which I think has propelled you onto this show.
Yeah, we had a we created several games in that
We did.
time period. So we took a bunch of cards and put balls in the front. Now it's not just playing cards. We also included Uno cards and several other some other things that go on here. Several cards that say "suck it."
Yep.
May I ask when you guys made this? Was this when you were in Walker's English class or no?
I can't give you the exact dates.
We created it. I think it started on when we were on the Florida trip. That's when we created.
It
Oh,
might
you guys
have
didn't go
been
to the
like
Bahamas?
fuck you. It's fucking. You ruined it. We got locked in our hotel rooms in Orlando, Florida. Shitty Orlando, Florida.
Yes.
Because you fucks couldn't keep it in your pants. And
Oh, that's weird because I was drinking rum with the locals in the Bahamas on my senior trip.
Yeah, I heard about that. Also in the satchel was this calculator because the game is so ridiculously complicated.
There's a lot of rules.
A lot of rules. And then just the last thing I'll show you is the official scorebook.
Who's number one? I want to know who's on there.
If it's pie
'Cause we
kush, the
kept-
game's fucking rigged.
Raymond, we kept very specific historical records.
I'm not sure, but we have here. This is called. There's a flop hand. There's a cover card, deuce, flop card, bunk hand, wash, 3 peas in a pod. I believe there's a Sullivan straight.
The
somewhere.
Sullivan Straight. I remember the Jumanji. Is there the Jumanjis on it?
Spade in the hole, bunk, Sullivan straight, royal spade, burnt,
Is
Jumanji,
Sullivan straight like a 2, a 4, a 9, and a 3?
It
three
doesn't
blind
make any
mice.
sense.
The something it was something along the lines of the Sullivan straight, and you just lost. Oh no, we played with Casey Murphy a lot because it was the summer after, and she was just around. And I think when the Sullivan straight came up, it always came to her, and she had to get up and go make us a sandwich.
Yeah.
I actually think that was the rule.
Yeah, it is. It's
That's a
probably
great
written
rule.
down in there.
Yeah, there's
We kept meticulous records.
there's a lot of numbers in here. So anyway, there's a blast from the past that no one really gives a shit about except for us two, and
Yes.
Casey if she's listening.
The-
She sucked. She was terrible.
At some point, those got uploaded to the internet, and I remember I had like an old computer where I had a link to it, and I remember going on it and like looking at all this.
Oh, there was a link. Yeah, you did it for your college. Didn't you get in trouble for doing it for like a college project? There was.
Yes, yeah, I did. Yeah, yes, yes, I did.
I think one night drunkenly I went in and like put a bunch of cunts or something in one of your
Yes,
things too.
yeah, you went in and actually changed it, and I didn't proofread it in there.
It was just a bunch of swear words and shit.
Your professor's like, what the fuck is this
Yes.
bullshit?
Okay, we'll finish off. In the back of this book, there are meticulous records. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 participants in the game balls. Jared Pikesh is one of them. I'll have you know he is last on the overall scoreboard.
Nice job, Bobby.
92 points. Joe Carroll's in there. A little shit named Tim Brennan. But really, the only ones that matter are me and Bobby at the top of the scoreboard. Bobby with 24,043 points. Rich McPhee with 25,000.
No, fuck that. No, that's
points.
been in your possession.
I'm just saying what it is.
If
And I
it-
also have 104 suckets, and you only have 76. So suck it. But Casey had 50 suckets on there, which seems low. Welcome to the Simple Minds Sports Show. This is the latest and greatest on New England sports, or the legendary game Balls.